I have 4 boyfriends. One to keep my bed warm, someone to spend my days with. There are also 2 old lamps, specialized in generating gold coins. None of them knew of the other's existence. I don't like anyone either. My name is Shen Nayan. I'm 25 years old this year. Not particularly stunning in appearance. Big eyes with light makeup. Walking on the street, you can occasionally get a few people turning to look at you. Everyone around me says I look well behaved. Speaking in a soft voice. She clearly seems the type of girl who's easy to trick. They're right. I was really easy to deceive back then. My first year in college, I met my first boyfriend, Lucy. He's from the courtyard next to mine. 1 year older than me. When we first started dating, he's really wonderful. They'll take me to class. Will accompany me to evening study sessions. Will bring me breakfast. Even my casually mentioned preferences. He remembers everything in his heart. Back then, I thought this was exactly the kind of love I wanted. I wish I could give him everything the best in the world. Back then, my monthly living expenses were 2,000 yuan. Enough to cover my own expenses. They haven't been together for even a few months. Lucy started complaining about how poor he was to me. He said his family wasn't well off. Don't have enough money for living expenses. I watched him look so aggrieved. Spoke without even thinking. From now on, I'll give you 1,000 yuan every month. Let's spend it together. Since then, I transfer 1,000 to him on time every month. I also keep only 1,000 to get by in daily life. These 1,000 are for paying the electricity bill, buying daily necessities, still need to eat. In short, I don't even have enough money to buy a new piece of clothing. He's having his birthday. I live frugally. I managed to save up over 2 months. Bought him a pair of Adidas shoes that cost over 1,000. But everything I wear myself is from Pinduoduo. It costs dozens of yuan in the evening. I just foolishly give away everything like this. From freshman year to senior year, I transfer 1,000 yuan to him every month without fail. Buy him clothes and gifts. Yet I live a very frugal life. I thought we'd keep going forever. Wait until he graduates. Wait until I graduate. Let's look for jobs together. Buy a house together. Live together. But I never could have imagined it. The people I treat with all my heart never truly cared for me at all. My senior year of college. After graduation, he stayed and worked locally. We're still together. I happened to see his phone. Accidentally came across his chat messages with a girl. Only then did I find out that he already had a girlfriend back in his hometown. A year earlier than I met him. In other words, I'm the one who came later. Looking at their intimate conversations on the phone. Watching the sweet nothings he said to that girl. Watching him say that he's been single all along. I'll marry her once I graduate. I just understand now. My efforts over these 3 years. It's all a joke. During that time, I've lost over 10 pounds. My roommates took turns trying to persuade me. But I just can't get out of here. It's like running towards someone with all your might. Thought that was the end. Only when I got closer did I realize it was just a wall. Also suffered a bloody head injury from the collision. It took me a full half year. It took some time to recover. I thought I'd already experienced betrayal once. I can always see people clearly. I'll never be so stupid again. But I didn't expect that. I still failed. My second relationship started during my internship. The boy's name is Shen Hao. He's a senior at my internship company. 3 years older than me. He has a really sweet mouth.
He knew I had just broken up.
Just constantly around me all day long. Buy me coffee. Take me out to eat.
Take me home.
He knows I just started my internship. It's not easy for someone to rent a place by themselves outside. They often come to keep me company. He took me to a nice restaurant for dinner. Travel around the area. Go to a concert. At that time, I felt that I had finally met the right person.
He loves me, unlike Lucy who only wants to steal my money.
I trust him more and more. I regarded him as someone I could rely on. After completing the internship and becoming a full-time employee, Mom and Dad feel bad that I'm alone out there. He gave me 30,000 yuan all at once. Let me rent a better apartment. I deposited the money into my bank card. I also happily told Shen Hao about this. It wasn't long before Shen Hao suddenly asked me for a loan. He said with a troubled expression, "Baby, there's an emergency at my home. Can you lend me 5,000? I'll give it back to you in a couple of days." I agreed without even thinking. After all, it's only natural for boyfriends and girlfriends to help each other. But this is just the beginning. Later, he asked me for money again. He said the stocks he bought have dropped a lot in value. Urgently need to top up positions. But he used his money to buy something that can't be withdrawn until a certain time. I borrowed it again. He asked me for loans several times in total. I actually used the 30,000 yuan that my parents gave me for rent. Lent out over 20,000. It happens too often. I'm a little panicked too. Once, I couldn't help but ask him, "When will you pay me back?" But he just perfunctorily dealt with me. "Don't worry, the stock price hasn't gone up yet. Still fluctuating at the bottom. I'll pay you back as soon as the price goes up." Until one day, I couldn't help but steal a peek at his phone. Checked his chat history. In his phone, it's all messages of him being flirtatious with multiple women. Those women are all from the business community. What really shocks me even more is, in the transfer records, he transferred thousands of dollars to each of those women at a time, without even blinking an eye. But he didn't pay back a single penny of my money. I took his phone and threw it right in front of him. "What is this?
Tell me.
What on earth is this?" He glanced at his phone. The expression on his face changed. But the next second he turned around and yelled at me. "Why are you going through my phone? You're violating my privacy." I was so angry that my whole body trembled. "I violated your privacy. You owe me over 20,000 yuan and won't pay it back. Take my money and go to the store. You still have the nerve to argue?" He stuck out his chin and acted arrogantly. "That's my money. I can spend my money however I want." I never could have imagined that. Someone I've trusted wholeheartedly once again. So he's actually such a scoundrel. I'm saying it word for word, "Give me my money back." He rolled his eyes. "No money." "Then go borrow it. You yourself are willing to lend it to me. You have to borrow it yourself." That moment, the last bit of hope I had in my heart has completely vanished. 2 relationships, 4 years of youth. I gave my all with utmost sincerity. Spent all one's savings. What it brought in return were 2 acts of betrayal. 2 humiliations. 2 complete acts of deception. I finally understand. In this world, sincerity cannot be exchanged for sincerity. The more humble you are, the more one gives. The more people look down on them, the more that's the case. Being toyed with by others. Since then, I've changed. I no longer believe in love. I'll no longer give my all to anyone. I started to manipulate other people's emotions. Learn to control it with ease. Learn to be yourself. The worst kind of bitch I ever despised. The 4 men who are with me right now, each has its own use. I welcome everyone who comes to me. Never puts any effort in either. The first one is Brother Gu, 44-year-old business person. He doesn't expect me to spend much time with him, as long as I give him some money. As long as I go to dinners with him occasionally, he'll transfer money to me. When it was young, a few thousand. Sometimes it reaches tens of thousands. He also bought me a luxury handbag. I accept it calmly. Never feel guilty at all, because I know. Between us, it's just each taking what they need. The second one is old Joe, 40 is also an age when one can do business. But more generous than brother GU. He also knows that I have other men in my life, but doesn't care at all. Sometimes they even chat with me. Every time he comes to me, not only will they bring me gifts, he even gave me some cash before leaving. I never refuse. If I have the money, why wouldn't I take it? The third is the antelope. 20 years old is the age of a college student who hasn't yet graduated. He's good looking. She knows how to make me happy. Will also sleep with me. He doesn't even need me to spend any money on him. Instead, they buy me little gifts. But he didn't know. I just saw him as a tool to keep me warm in bed. The fourth is silence. 27 was the age when I first met that programmer. I don't talk much, nor do I really know how to comfort people. He doesn't know that I have it. Other men always thought I was like them. Ordinary people who just want to live their lives in peace. He said his biggest dream was to live an ordinary life, saying they want to save money to buy a house. I hope to be able to marry me by the age of 30. I watched his serious expression. Sometimes I also feel guilty. But this sense of guilt, it will soon be replaced by indifference deep in my heart. Because I've never felt anything for him at all. I'm maneuvering between these four men, switching between different expressions, saying different love words. Someone asked me, "Aren't you afraid of being discovered?" What am I afraid of? If it gets discovered, just change it. Anyway, no one in this society is indispensable to anyone else. I'm no longer the person who got hurt back then. The girl who cried and asked why. I'm the girl who's asking you what you want now. You want money? I'll give you emotional value instead. You need to be there for me. I'll give you some time. You want the future. I'll draw you a pie. They think I'm a jerk. Think I'm being reckless, irresponsible. Think I can handle things with ease. Only I know. What I can control with ease isn't emotions at all. It's the hard layer that forms after the wound has scabbed over. Don't imitate me. It really isn't because I'm bad. It's not either because I think it's particularly glorious or anything like that. It's because I've walked this path before. Only at the very end did I realize it. I'm still not happy. The moment the husband burst open the hotel room door, I'm still protecting the man behind me. I never thought about it. Me at 30. I'll also meet my song simming. My name is Lin Wan. A person is just like their name suggests. Everything comes too late. Late bloomer, late lover. Living step by step until the age of 30. I have an average appearance. The kind that's impossible to find among the crowd. The only advantage is fair skin. Clean gaze. In my mom's words, it looks like something that's easy to scam people with. After graduating from university, I went back to my hometown. Like most students, working step by step, following a systematic approach to work. My boyfriend is Zhang Cheng, who teaches physics at the school next door. We've been together for 5 years. He doesn't talk much. Honest and upright. Monthly salary, 6,000. They'll give me most of the money to keep for them. Our goals are aligned. Save enough for the down payment. Buy an apartment and get married right after. Days are like machines with preset programs. Stable, but with everything clearly visible from the start. I thought that's more or less what love and life are like. Until Leo Song appeared. Getting to know old Song. It was organized by our company. At a business owners meeting, I'm a clerk in the office, responsible for conference affairs. He sat in the first row. Dark gray suit, men in their 50s. But she maintains a great figure. There's a sense of composure in her eyes, as if she's seen the world. His voice wasn't loud when he spoke, but every word seems to have weight of its own. After the meeting, I frantically gathered my materials together. A cup of tea that hadn't been finished was spilled. It happened to splash onto his arm as he passed by. I was startled. apologizing repeatedly. But he laughed instead. I took out a tissue and wiped it off. It's nothing, little girl. I was completely stunned. He actually called me little girl. At 30, in the eyes of my boyfriend with whom I've been dating for 5 years, I'm a partner in the savings plan. In the eyes of parents, it's time to decide on who it will be. With him. But she became a young girl who exuded a sense of distance and freshness. The moment my eyes met his, a part of my heart stirred slightly. After that bankruptcy incident, I thought with someone as important as him, there won't be any more intersection between us. I didn't expect that almost 2 weeks had passed. Our company has another project. Need to connect with their company. When going to deliver documents, his secretary took me to the reception room. It said that President Song is in a meeting. Let me wait a moment. Waited for almost half an hour. He's come in, still wearing that well-fitted suit, with a hint of the haste from just coming out of the meeting room. You've been waiting long enough, haven't you? While saying that, Kobayashi. He naturally sat down on the sofa across from me. I was stunned for a moment. He called me Kobayashi. It seems he remembers me. I quickly handed over the documents, repeated what the leader had said once more. He took it but didn't look at it right away. Instead, he poured me a glass of water. Don't worry, have a glass of water first. He smiled. The fine lines around the eyes appear very gentle. You did a great job organizing the symposium last time. My face is a little hot. Speaking softly, I also wetted your clothes. It's just a trivial matter. He just waves his hand. After he finished reading the documents, nodded and said, okay. I understand. I'll have my assistant get in touch with you if there's any further progress. He paused for a moment. You seem pretty serious when you do things when you look at me. Just that simple comment. It made my heart skip a beat. At the office workplace, someone as unremarkable as me is rarely praised directly by my superiors. I lowered my head and said, of course. He stood up, casually handed me a business card, saying that in the future there won't be a need to make a special trip for certain things. Just give me a call. I accepted the business card with utmost respect. Promised to see them off. I kept that business card in the compartment of my wallet, like a seed quietly buried underground. It was my mom who really made the seed break through the soil. Sudden myocardial infarction. The appointment with a specialist isn't available until 2 months from now. Jiang Cheng and I ran ourselves out of breath, looking for someone to deliver a gift, saying only kind things. All I get are vague excuses and shirking of responsibility. Looking at how weak my mom looks, I was led on by some mysterious force. It was as if some supernatural force guided me. I called Old Song. After the call connected, he called out to me. Stutteringly said I was Zhao Li. He calmly asked me what was wrong. I talked nonsense about my mom's situation. He listened quietly as I finished speaking. Only the hospital and patients' names were asked. Then say, don't rush. Wait for my call.
10 minutes later.
He called me on the phone. Tell me if the expert can perform one more surgery tomorrow afternoon. And the hospital arranged a single-room ward for them. Let me take my mother to see Director Wang tomorrow. My mom's surgery was a success. Living in a quiet hospital room, recovering quickly, Jiang Cheng sighed in relief. Keep telling Wan to turn around. We have to do this. Okay, thank you, I replied vaguely. But I know it well in my heart. This relationship was something I begged for myself. With an excitement I can't even explain myself. After my mom was discharged from the hospital, I went to his company with a gift. I want to thank him. He simply said nothing was wrong, in a calm and unhurried manner. Don't take it to heart. I insisted on keeping that ridiculously expensive box of tea. Put it on his desk. Can't outlast me. He said it just so happened I hadn't eaten yet. Let's have dinner together. Otherwise, it would be awkward to accept your gift. The restaurant he chose was quiet and elegant. There were only the two of us in the private room. My palms were sweating from nervousness. But he was very relaxed. Give me the vegetables. Let's talk about something light. He said I looked more haggard than the last time we met. He also said that my fingers went white from gripping the documents tightly that day. Obviously very nervous. He said I'm such a naive girl. He hadn't seen him in many years. Every sentence. It's like a gentle tap on the softest part of my heart. It's something Jiang Cheng never told me. At the end, he insisted on driving me home. The car is parked at the intersection not far from my apartment complex.
He said, "That's it then."
So your boyfriend won't misunderstand. His thoughtfulness is truly astonishing. When I got off the bus, he suddenly called out to me. Passed over a delicate little paper bag, sleep-inducing aromatherapy gift from a friend. I don't need it. I heard you haven't been sleeping well lately. Try it and see. I'm completely stunned. If I didn't answer the phone, how would he know I couldn't sleep well? It was the exhaustion in my voice during our last phone call. It's still the faint blue-black discoloration under my eyes tonight. This feeling of being quietly noticed, like a tiny electric current flowing through the entire body. Holding a bag isn't like holding something valuable. His tone was gentle, but it cannot be refused. I picked it up as if possessed by some force. This bag is very light, but in my hands it feels extremely heavy. Today was a happy day. You'll eat with me. Good night, Kobayashi. After he finished speaking, the car window slowly rose. The car silently slipped into the night. I know there are some things, from this meal, from this intersection, from the moment I took this paper bag in my hands. It's completely out of control now. The road home is very short, but I walked for a long time. The scented candle in my hand felt like a burning secret. Push open the door. The TV in the living room is still on. The charger has fallen asleep on the sofa, rock solid like thunder. In that instant, the huge gap between reality and my expectations hit me hard. I quietly hid the paper bag in the farthest recess of the cabinet, like hiding evidence of a crime that shouldn't be exposed to light. Lying in the familiar bed, yet I couldn't fall asleep for a long time. Nose tip. It seems as though the faint scent of snow from Song Cummings' car still lingers in the air. Rosin and also that good night, he said. This meal is nowhere near enough to settle the debt. Clearly, it's the beginning of a love affair. And I've already half stepped in. From that day on, his WeChat chat window has become the one I open most often. The place that was shut down in a hurry again. Is he busy right now? It makes my heart race for hours. My trivial worries and troubles, even the wrinkles around him, could be easily smoothed out. He said, Kobayashi, don't try to bear it all by yourself. He started asking me out. Every time I scold myself mercilessly in my mind. Also, you have a boyfriend. What are you doing? Done scolding. The fingers still manage to play well, honestly. I'll carefully fabricate lies to get by with Jiang Cheng. Looking at his face, free of any doubt, my stomach feels like it's filled with lead. Meeting old Song feels like stealing some precious time away. I greedily enjoyed his help. Every time the date ends, every step toward home feels like stepping on a needle. I despise this version of myself with complete clarity. Yet, I still hope desperately for news from him. I can't go on like this anymore. Just meeting up one more time would be enough. Repeatedly tearing at each other, the deeper I sink. He took me to his private party. They talked about investments and projects that I couldn't understand. When he introduced me to others, they say it's Juggling. A girl full of vitality. He'll give me gifts. They're just little trinkets, but they're all quite expensive. They remained in this ambiguous relationship for several months. I know that I go from being awake to falling into oblivion, but unable to break free, thoroughly break through that boundary. It's at that resort. He went to cut the ribbon for the project. Let me go with you. I lied to the regulations, saying that the company had temporarily assigned me a business trip. That night, the galaxy hung low in the sky. We sat on the terrace. It's as though I'm far away from all the hustle and bustle of the world. He talked about his youth. Occasionally, their gaze fell on me, softer than the evening breeze. Later, he remained silent for a moment. The first time I saw those eyes filled with deep affection, staring at me, then gently took my hand in his. Every night, his voice was gentle and soft, as if reaching into the night. "You can tell that I like you, right?" Then he didn't wait for me to reply. Then he bent down and kissed me. At that moment, it felt like all the blood in my body froze instantly. It exploded again with a loud noise. His breath enveloped me, with a slight hint of tobacco flavor, and his uniquely comforting presence, something in the depths of my heart that's been dried up for too long, like soil after the spring rain, greedily sucking in the dangerous nectar. I'm struggling between resistance and surrender, easily dispelling that faint bit of reason. Crushed against the shore, we became completely inseparable that night. From under the starry sky to inside the room, everything's like a train that has gotten off the rails, sliding toward the anticipated abyss. And I closed my eyes, let myself fall freely. After the resort, some kind of understanding was reached. He treats me differently now. It's not just about being generous with material things. There's also a kind of indulgent consideration in it. My life has been split in two. Half of it involves the mundane realities of preparing for a wedding according to the rules and regulations. Choosing wedding candies, try on the wedding dress, every step is taken on cotton. The horror of emptiness and futility. The other half was built for me by Old Song, a mirage filled with excitement and tenderness. He'd send a message in the dead of night saying he missed me. It keeps me awake all night staring at my phone screen. It also happens when I'm annoyed by the trivialities of wedding preparations. One phone call solved my problem. Then softly said, "My little girl, there's no need to frown over these things." Actually, Jiang Cheng wasn't unaware of it. Those nights when I refused his touch, those increasing business trips, and those luxury goods that aren't within my means. He didn't ask any further questions. His silence was more like an act of indulgence. And I sink deeper and deeper into this indulgence. The wedding date is getting closer and closer. Guilt gnaws at me day and night. Me and Lao Song. It's also been a long time since we last met. I suppose so. I ultimately want to live a normal life. But every time when it's quiet at night, I'll still quietly open his chat window. Just quietly looking at his profile picture. Until 2 days before the wedding, that text message arrived again, as expected. Brief, yet like a final judgment. "Let's say goodbye one last time tonight. After that, you can get married in peace. Live a good life. I know how to say no." She walked away from me, never looking back, towards what had once been my smooth and orderly life. But I really miss him so much. I just want to see each other one last time. Put an end to this absurdity. So I rushed out of the house in a hurry. Even Jiang Cheng was shouting at me from behind. I didn't even hear it. The lighting in the hotel room was dim. We sat in silence. Not too far, not too close. He raised his hand to touch my face. I subconsciously shrank back. His hand froze midair. In the end, I could only sigh. Just then, the door was violently thrown open. Jiang Cheng stood at the door. The figure was stretched out by the light in the hallway. Cast into this room of ambiguous dim light, his face had no color at all. Eyes wide open. At first, they just stared at me in disbelief. Then his gaze slowly shifted behind me. Just got up. The old pine with a slightly long shirt collar. There was a buzzing sound in my head. The body reacted before consciousness could. I actually took a small step back slightly. Shoulder rotation, blocking between Jiang Cheng and between Old Song and the others. It's this tiny, instinctive movement. Destroyed everything. Jiang Chengsheng was struck hard by something invisible. Suddenly it swayed violently. He didn't look at Old Song, just staring at me intently. In those eyes, always gentle and kind. Something shattered instantly. Only cold, empty despair remains. His eyes were red. Gritting her teeth, Lin Wan said each word carefully. "We're all getting married soon. Have you treated me fairly?" Then, slowly, step by step, he stepped back. Vanished into the hallway's light. The moment the door closed, I collapsed on the ground, powerless. The regulations canceled weddings. This matter became the talk of the town in our small city. Also, for this very reason, I've been suspended from my job by my employer. My parents were so angry with me that they had to be hospitalized. I know that all of this is my own karma. I left my hometown with only a few belongings. Strange streets. Neon lights stretch the lonely shadow far away. Every click of the suitcase's wheels. It's all like a repetition of his last horse question. My own flustered face reflected in the window display. In a daze, I saw his eyes. Those eyes that always held warmth and anticipation. In the end, only broken ice remained. My greatest regret. It wasn't that the engagement or reputation was lost. Rather, I once had someone with such a pure soul, all love and trust, yet using the dirtiest hands. It was smashed into powder that could never be put back together again.